Hello again. Welcome back to the Movie Buff Reactions channel. Today we're going to be watching The Unusual Suspects' latest Every Actor In video. It's a series of videos where he goes through an entire movie, usually a big blockbuster type film, and he lists every actor in it and where they got their start from, the bigger actors, and also the smaller actors in the smaller parts, and where you might recognize them from. I haven't done the reaction to the last few of these he's done, mostly because I've been a bit busy, so haven't had as much time to react to the suspects as I usually do, but this one I think is going to be a fun one to watch. It's his every voice actor in Shrek. I've done a lot of reactions to reviews on the Shrek franchise. I grew up watching the first two films almost non-stop when I was a little kid, and I love them very much. They have a lot of stuff that still works even when you watch it as an adult. And I know this video is coming out a little later than my usual suspect reactions usually do, but for those who keep up with the channel, I have trimmed my beard and wanted to get the ones I filmed before the big hair clipping out first, so there'd be a little sense of continuity. But anyway, this is every voice actor in Shrek and where you know them from, and I got a green shirt on, my Someone in Iowa Loves Me shirt, sent by my aunt and uncle. It's a fun shirt, and without further ado, let's watch and see what voice actors we may not know about from this film. I know Jim Cummings has a small role in it, and the thumbnail has a picture of Fred from Scooby-Doo and the dragon saying same actor, so that'll be interesting.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Actor Breakdown. This is the series where I go through some very well-known films, identify all of the actors, and show you where you know every face from. In the last video, I asked you guys what animated feature you'd like me to cover, and several of you suggested Shrek.
Why not?
Which is a great idea, as there's a mixture of well-known talents behind the mic, with some juicy career tidbits I want to share, along with a lot of unknowns, who you'll quickly find out aren't really unknowns.
As the series shows.
So tuck into your wee drop stew and let's settle this over a pint. This is every voice actor in Shrek and where you know them from.
Here we go.
Like that's ever gonna happen. Oh, look at So let's start with the big guy. Mike Myers was not cast as Shrek.
Oh, we're going here.
Not originally. Yeah, I'm sure many of you will know about the story of American comedian Chris Farley, who had actually recorded many lines of dialogue for the Green Ogre before sadly passing away due to a drug overdose at age 33. Farley was best known for his stint on SNL and had his fair share of hit comedy films like Black Sheep and Tommy Boy.
And Beverly Hills Ninja.
A thing or two. We're gonna show. Now, some of Chris Farley's recordings of Shrek actually have surfaced online, so I decided to sync them as best I could with the existing movie footage to give you an idea of what Farley's Shrek might have sounded like. Check this out. People see me and they go, "Ah, help! A big, stupid, smelly, ugly ogre!" They judge me before they even know me. But did you know that another actor recorded dialogue for Shrek before even Chris Farley did?
Who?
And you'll never guess who.
I hope you're prepared, Pinky, for tonight's plan to take
Maurice
over the world
LaMarche?
to be extraordinary.
Yeah, Maurice LaMarche, best known as the voice of Brain in Pinky and the Brain, recorded scratch dialogue for Shrek. His voice was meant to accompany the movie's storyboards to serve as animatics during the film's pre-production stage. And for those who are thinking, well, yeah, but LaMarche as Shrek never would have happened. He was just a simple placeholder. Well, there are instances when scratch vocal performances make it into the final film. Rosalie Chang of Turning Red fame is one such instance of this. Pixar intended to eventually replace Chang, but her voice worked so well for Mei Mei, they decided to stick with her. So LaMarche as Shrek could have happened. I mean, the dynamic between Shrek and Donkey and Brain and Pinky is kinda similar when you think about it. So it could have worked.
Kinda.
Stop singing!
I told you to stop playing that.
But let's finally move on to Shrek's official voice actor, the one and only Mike Myers.
Minnow
Very hit and miss career.
Supply?
Now, Myers, you'll definitely know for things like his stint on SNL as well.
Thank you very much
And
for your
Wayne's
kind
World.
applause on my entrance.
Austin
I
Powers.
always like a warm hand on my opening.
And for his very famous roles in the Austin Powers and Wayne's World series.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
But Myers started out his career very young, appearing in a bunch of commercials as a kid, like in this one for Wrigley's Chewing Gum. And there's a specific line in this one that a lot of people today find a bit creepy.
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Jack. Want some gum?
Candy flavor? Oh, it's Wrigley's.
Yeah.
Well, you graduated to the big stick.
Wrigley Spearmint.
Spearmint straight.
Yeah, that was a grown man telling a prepubescent boy that he's just graduated.
A lot of commercials are kind of creepy now when you look at them.
Moving on to 1975, which marked Myers' first on-screen appearance in the Canadian sitcom King of Kensington.
What'd you get that top badge for?
25 cents. Now you want 4 tickets or 8?
Oh, and in 1985, there was a made-for-TV movie that chronicled the life of John Lennon and Yoko Ono. And before he was famous, Mike Myers randomly turns up as a starstruck delivery man.
I've worn out your Imagine album. It's great. Thanks.
Cool.
Okay, let's make our way through the ogre hunters here, starting with...
Do you know what that thing could do to you?
So that guy is played by one of the film's editors, Sim Evan Jones. He's edited many other well-known films like the Shaun the Sheep movie and the Chronicles of Narnia series. And it's in
Big
those
films.
He got a small voice role as this talking mouse.
May it please your High Majesty, we will not bear the shame of wearing an honour denied to our chief.
Then we got this guy.
Yeah, it'll grind your bones for its bread.
Now that's the voice of Clive P.P.S. He's best known for hosting an American reality show called HGTV Star, which was all about interior
Never heard of
design.
it.
It is workday one for Katie and Chris, and the deconstruction and then reconstruction of their dated kitchen is about to begin.
Looks like something my grandma would like.
I'll be extra careful.
And finally, there's this guy.
Back, please! Back! I warn ya!
So that's the voice of Peter Dennis, who sadly died in 2009. Dennis was an actor of film and stage, and on stage, he was best known for his award-winning one-man show, Bother, the Brain of Pooh, where he performed selections of stories from A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh books.
Now,
Oh.
the bear's name is Winnie.
That makes
It
sense.
shows what a good name for bears it is. But the funny thing is that we can't remember whether Winnie is called after Pooh or Pooh after Winnie.
On screen, though, you might have seen him in things like the 2004 comedy drama Sideways, and you might remember his one-off appearances in sitcoms like Seinfeld and Friends.
I mean, I was sitting there. But you got up. But I never left the room. But you left the chair area.
Oh, and here he is portraying Sir Isaac Newton in an episode of Star Trek Voyager.
I demand an explanation. Why are you dressed like this, young man?
5 shillings for the possessed toy. Take it away.
So this Captain of
Yep.
the Guards, believe it or not, is played by the same guy who voices Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, this is American
And Darkwing
voice actor
Duck.
Jim Cummings, who's best known for taking over the voice duties of the famous bear after Sterling Holloway's run.
But I can only do it for a small sprinkle of honey.
But to simply call Cummings the voice of Winnie the Pooh is doing him a huge disservice, as he has more voice roles than I could possibly count. He voices Tigger,
Yeah.
would need the hero Pooh Bear.
Does a pretty good job at both of them.
Darkwing Duck,
Mhm.
Push that button and I'll toss it out. This way? No.
Tasmanian Devil,
Mm.
Dr. Robotnik,
Ah.
Machines of all kinds. Marvelous machines. They can do things you would not believe.
but the performances from him that really blow my mind are his singing double performances.
Oh yeah.
So,
These are awesome.
Can't quite hit those big notes. Here's a great example of this with Scar in The Lion King, who's voiced by Jeremy Irons, but Cummings takes over for the Be Prepared number. And the switch of voices here is seamless. You never know the actor changed mid-song unless you were told about it.
You won't get a sniff without me.
This is incredible. That's amazing.
That is mental. Props to Cummings and the casting director there.
This ticket is so small.
So the only one of the three bears that has a speaking role is Baby Bear, who is voiced by American voice actor Bobby Block. Block has only done very minor roles, such as voice acting some of the background fish kids in Finding Nemo, and this piglet in Home on the Range.
That's
Random.
all I can, and Jeb took it.
But he did have one lead role, voicing the titular character in Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Why do boys and girls need separate bathrooms? What is the difference between girls and boys anyway?
Oh, it's gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
If you don't know this actor, then you must be living under that rock over there.
That is a nice boulder.
Enter the one and only Eddie Murphy as Donkey.
You're a mean green fighting machine, and together we'll scare the spit out of anybody that crosses us.
Former SNL cast member.
A lot of SNL people.
Police!
Just a minute.
Stand-up comedian.
Everything is a question, too. Hey, what am I, an asshole? What am I, fucking Shrek? Get the fuck out of here.
Faggots ain't allowed to watch my ass while I'm on this stage.
And star of many hit films. Coming to America, The Nutty Professor, Trading Places, and Beverly Hills Cop, to name but a trifling few.
I've never been to a cell that had a phone in it. Can I stay for a while? Because I ordered some pizza.
Speaking of Beverly Hills Cop, did you know that Sylvester Stallone was initially attached to star in it?
And then he took his ideas for Cobra.
Script to be less comedic and more of an action film, and this is what led him to star in the movie Cobra instead. For back to Murphy, did you know that he has 10 kids?
Yeah.
10! I'm serious, look! Murphy has more kids than Donkey does, what the hell?
Look at our little mutant baby.
Dude gets around.
Kids he had with the Spice Girl, Mel B. Yeah, and this was a bit of a controversy back in 2007, as Murphy didn't believe the kid was his initially. He had to do a DNA test and everything to confirm. Needless to say, the two are not together anymore.
Celebrity marriages, they never last, do they?
Are pathetic. But another
Yeah.
overlooked aspect of Murphy's life is his singing career, which got started because of a $100,000
Yeah.
bet with Richard Pryor that he couldn't sing. So Murphy responded with the Rick James produced Party All the Time, which peaked at number 2 on the
Pretty
American
stupid,
Billboard
but kind of
100.
funny. Hard to believe that's his voice.
And in the liner notes of this album, you can find this excerpt. To Richard Pryor, my idol with whom I have a $100,000 bet. No, motherfucker, I didn't forget. Yeah, and while Murphy never got a big hit single after that, he did go on to collaborate with lots of famous artists, like Snoop Dogg.
Not a bad singer,
and even
just
Michael
needed
Jackson.
better songs.
I can talk. I love to talk. I'm not talking a damn thing of a song.
Okay, this one blew my mind. The only
Oh.
old woman here.
I recognize her.
Late American actress Kathleen Freeman, who had a beyond expansive film career, appearing in a bunch of Jerry Lewis comedies like the original Nutty Professor.
Are you all right? And if you are, where are you all right?
Here she is as a diction coach in Singing in the Rain.
And I can't stand him.
And I can't stand him.
Can't.
But modern day audiences might recognize her better for her later roles. This is her in Gremlins 2.
Microwave Marge.
But my personal favorite of Freeman's roles? Oh, it's gotta be her in the Blues Brothers.
Get out.
Yep.
And don't come back until you reach.
She had a fun part in the Naked Gun 33 1/3, I think it's called.
I'm not a puppet. I'm a real boy.
So Pinocchio is voiced by American voice actor and director Cody Cameron. Cameron plays Pinocchio in all of the Shrek movies, and also lends his voice for all 3 of the Little Pigs.
Lord Farquaad, he who fit
Outside of Shrek, Cameron directed various animated features like Open Season 3, in which he voices the character Mr. Weenie.
Yeah, but it's not so bad. My friends, it's so good to see you all.
And he helped co-direct Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too. He lent his vocal
That's more
talents there
impressive.
as well, providing the sounds of dill pickle and Barry the strawberry.
Hey, I can fly.
He can fly.
So I feel like a right moron here, as it's only after doing research for this video I finally realized that this kid is Peter Pan. Like Peter Pan saying
Really?
he can fly. I only just got the joke after my millionth rewatch of the film, and you'll also notice that he's trying to pawn off Tinkerbell as well. Anyway, Pan is
What a
voiced
dick.
by an American voice actor by the name of Michael Golasso. He had some minor live-action roles. This is him in an episode of ER.
She promised to stay with me.
Oh, good. For a sec, I thought he was dead.
And he had a small role as a kid called Sam in Our Real Monsters.
Well, I remember that show.
There's a Farquaad from the farm, but what choice do we have? It's not home, but you do just fine.
So it's difficult to pinpoint who is who here, but amongst the three blind mice are three actors. Firstly, one of them is actually voiced by Mike Myers. Yeah, he's essentially talking to himself here. If I had to guess, I'd say this one is Myers,
What a lovely bed.
but I can't be sure. Another one is played by British animation director Simon J. Smith. Now Smith is a CG animation veteran, with his work going as far back as 1993, as you'll find his 3D handiwork in the music video for Pet Shop Boys Go West. And he's directed many animated features himself. In the Shrek universe, he directed the Far Far Away Idol short, and he then helped co-direct Penguins of Madagascar and the Bee Movie.
The title came from Jerry.
DreamWorks guy. Big time DreamWorks guy.
He was very excited, and there was this long conversation. And he just said, what about a movie about bees called Bee Movie? And Stephen goes, it's a great idea. And he's, I was just joking.
And in the Bee Movie, you'll find his other two voice roles. This is him as this truck driver.
You hear something? Like what?
Like tiny screaming.
And this is him playing the bee, Chet.
So here, just initial that. Oh, thank you.
And the last mouse is played by English voice actor Christopher Knights. Knights worked on the film as an editor and also provides the voice for Thelonious.
Entertaining character.
And
Wish he had stuck
outside of
around.
Shrek, Knights is best known for playing Private the Penguin in the Madagascar films.
Huh.
My head just went to pitch up your voice a little bit higher and try and make it cute, try and make it cuddly, and you know,
He
for all
was.
intents and purposes it worked.
Cheesy devils.
Dead broad off the
That's the bird. The birds take it.
So this is bizarre. This dwarf of the Seven Dwarfs is played by an uncredited Richard Stephen Horowitz, who you might know as the voice of Alpha 5 in Power Rangers.
Zordon, the Power Rangers are in trouble.
Well, I'm not a Power Rangers guy, so
Without a power coin.
news to
He's got
me.
a ton of other recognizable roles as well, like Raz in Psychonauts.
Sorry I'm late. I don't want to disrupt your briefing, Agent Oleander. Agents 9, Vodello, please, continue.
Billy in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Huh.
Idaho.
Daggett in The Angry Beavers.
This is great, Norby.
I recognize that too. I never watched it, but I recognize the image.
Nothing they can do.
And Zim in Invader Zim.
I watched a few episodes of that as a kid.
Pathetic humans fleeing in terror at the sight of sin.
Such a high-profile voice actor for such a small and uncredited part. Quite bizarre.
Maybe he owed somebody a favor.
What?
So the Big Bad Wolf is played by one of the film's producers, Aaron Warner.
Shrek took 5 years and over 500 people to bring to life, so I'm incredibly honored to be up here on behalf of the entire team.
Warner helped produce all of the Shrek films and voices the wolf in every one. Now,
Cool.
Warner's role as a producer had him working on many features. Highlights include Independence Day, True Lies, and Titanic. But as a voice actor, he only had one other minor role, as the character Thomas in the 2014 feature, The Book of Life.
Are you sure? I think these are the detention kids.
That's enough.
He's ready to talk.
Lord Farquaad.
One John Arthur Lithgow played
2 fun facts about Farquaad.
Firstly, I'm not the first to mention this, but by God, is his logo eerily similar to the Facebook one. Remember, Shrek
Coincidence,
came out years
but
before Facebook did, so perhaps this is where Zuckerberg got his inspiration? Who knows?
And secondly, did you know that Alan Rickman was offered the role of Farquaad?
oh, I didn't know
He
that.
was all set to do it, but this was 2001. His services were needed elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Lithgow. Lithgow's acting career spans decades. His very first on-screen appearance was back in 1972 in the film Dealing on the Berkeley to Boston 40 Brick Lost Back Blues. Try saying that 3 times fast.
That's quite a title.
Son of a bitch.
Then Lithgow went on to acting film, TV, and stage. There is so much I'm gonna miss here.
I think that was Blowout. He was great in that.
Nick Solomon in Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh my God! I'm gorgeous!
You might remember him in Cliffhanger.
Now take your toy.
He's great at doing villains.
I gotta mention his performance in the 1985 Santa Claus movie.
Best thing in the movie.
Oh, that's fantastic. How do you turn your face so red so fast?
He is the voice in Rugrats in Paris.
Madame Lebouche wants some pickles. Now!
He played Winston Churchill once in the TV drama The Crown.
And she had to make a decision right then and there in the room. You could see the wheels turning behind her eyes.
And he's been nominated for an Oscar twice in his career. One for his performance in Terms of Endearment, and the other for The World According to Garb, in which he plays a trans woman.
You're Jenny's son. Yes, sir. Oh, I just finished reading your novel.
I wonder if he would give him crap for that today.
And this one blew my mind. Did you know that John Lithgow once played Yoda? Yeah, like Star Wars Yoda. It was in a radio series that aired in the 80s
that makes
told the
sense.
events of the first 3 Star Wars films.
I didn't hear about it.
Everything. George Lucas approved of it, and many Star Wars actors reprised their roles, like Anthony Daniels, Billy D. Williams, and they even got Mark Hamill. Frank Oz, though, wasn't interested, so Lithgow inherited the Yoda role.
I was looking for someone.
Okay. Found someone you have, I would say. Oh.
It was also surprising to find out how many roles Lithgow almost got. He was in the running to play Doc Brown in Back to the Future, Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs, and Hades in Disney's
I think I read he was up for Egon and Ghostbusters at one point.
As Lithgow had actually recorded all of the dialogue for the part before being outright replaced by James Woods.
I'm not complaining. I love Lithgow, but James Woods was incredible as Hades.
What I'm observing is very odd.
It's unclear as to why, but perhaps Lithgow wasn't right for this one, because Woods just makes that role his own. But all's well that ends well, because Lithgow obviously got his chance to shine at another animated villain just 4 years later.
I'm the gingerbread man! You monster!
So good old Gingy is voiced by American director and voice actor Conrad Vernon.
It would be great if they made one for the gingerbread man, but I don't think there's anything in the works for a gingerbread man movie.
Now, on the directing side, Vernon went on to co-direct a lot of animated features, such as Monsters vs. Aliens, Madagascar 3, Sausage Party, and Shrek 2. And you'll find Vernon's voice all over his movies. There is so many to count.
Pretty ripped
so
dude.
I'll show you a compilation of his roles.
That would be the dog's breakfast, Your Majesty. Gingy!
Damn, that hit hard.
I heard Tom Wolfe was speaking at Lincoln Center. When will it end? When he stops drinking us.
And when he stops using us! You don't want to fucking know. Time for you to meet today's eligible bachelorettes. And here they are.
So one Chris Miller provides the voice of
Oh.
the Magic Mirror.
Yours for the rescuing, Princess Fiona.
Not to be confused with Christopher Miller, the guy
Oh.
who often collaborates with
My bad, I thought that
Warner
was
films like
the
The
Chris
Lego
Miller.
Movie and the Jump Street series. No, different guy we're talking about here. This Chris Miller, confusingly enough, has directed films himself. He's the guy who directed Shrek the Third and The Puss in
Nah.
Boots, and is also known as the voice of Kowalski in the Madagascar films.
Okay, that's a better credit.
Only 500 feet from the main sewer line.
has two other minor roles in the Shrek series. He briefly voices Geppetto earlier in this film.
His little wooden puppet.
And in Shrek 2, he voices the head cook during the dinner scene.
Dinner is served.
So, funnily enough, the screams of terror of this Duloc mascot are provided by one of Shrek's directors. Yeah, this is Kiwi Andrew Adamson, who also voices one of the ogre hunters from earlier.
Wondering why he wasn't bringing that dude up.
In Shrek 2. Now, Adamson co-directed Shrek 2 as well, but he also worked as a visual effects supervisor on Joel Schumacher's Batman movies.
One of the
Yeah.
Batman and Robin's really good.
Maybe not bring that credit up.
New techniques and new imagery because it's such a fancy city.
And then went on to direct the first two Chronicles of Narnia films. Yeah, has anyone else noticed how many roles in this movie are played by movie directors? It's weird. And what's crazy about Adamson...
John Landis in charge of the casting.
Completely different. You see, before he got his start in the industry, he was about to enroll in a university degree in architecture, but he missed the enrollment deadline due to a car accident, so he opted for a film career instead. It's crazy to think that this accident is what led to one of the most influential animated movies of all time.
Well, part of it.
So, two people provide the voices for the Duloc Choir, Hope Levy and Jill Bogard. Bogard, I can't find any information on, unfortunately. There is a musician on YouTube by that name, but I can't confirm if it's the same person or not. But Levy, on the other hand, is more well known, and you might have seen her in a few things, such as one-off appearances in shows like Criminal Minds and the sitcom Up All Night.
I found these. Opera jar.
Gail, are you kidding? Did you not? Why?
But her most recognizable acting gig has got to be her voicing Rebecca Chambers in the Resident Evil 1 remake.
He seems to have been bitten by a poisonous snake. But the size of the bite mark is huge.
And if you want to hear Levy sing more, check out her YouTube channel.
No time for love. No time for love. It's a sad, sad state when you got no time for love.
Nice voice.
So this lively wrestling fan is played by a Welsh actress and producer called Jackie Barnbrook. Barnbrook has worked on tons of things, but on the top of her resume would be her production credit for The Chub Chubs, which won Best Animated Short at the 2003 Oscars. If you happen to remember this, prepare to OD
Never heard of it.
nostalgia. I think I had this on my old Men in Black 2 DVD.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be?
And Barnbrook has had a ton of minor acting roles, from one-off appearances in shows like Californication, and here she is with Andy Samberg in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Hey, man.
Thanks, God. Here, hold this. Lasagna's burning.
Okay.
Get the dog, but don't let it touch the baby.
And she's had some small voice roles too, like in the films Beowulf.
Wonder if Beowulf's doing his only in his arms or in his legs as well. All three of them.
And the Robert Zemeckis version of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, I know who it is, Fred. I know.
Going for the creepy motion capture films.
This beeth our first meeting. Should it not be a wonderful, romantic moment?
So Princess Fiona is of course played by American actress Cameron Diaz. Diaz has cemented herself as one of the most bankable of actresses. And you'll know
Well,
her
she
for
used to
her
be.
on-screen debut
She's not really in the
Mask,
business
and
anymore.
her very recognizable performances in films like Vanilla Sky, Charlie's Angels, being John Malkovich, and There's
Yeah.
Something About Mary.
Is that a hair gel?
But you all know about that. What do you not know about her?
I liked her in Gangs of New York a
She
lot.
got to start as a model while she was still at school, and apparently one of her schoolmates was Snoop Dogg, of all people. And yes, she apparently bought weed off of him.
Some of that white girl weed.
What's that? What's white girl weed?
You know, sticks and stems.
Like medical oregano?
Yeah. Did you also know that Diaz was
That's something to learn.
Sonya in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie? Yeah, she got secured the role and everything. But as she was training for the film, she broke her wrist, which meant she couldn't continue the physically demanding part. So the role instead went to Bridget Wilson-Sampras, who I didn't realise was the wife of tennis player Pete Sampras until doing this video.
Broken wrist wouldn't stop Sean Connery.
Turning this into a celebrity gossip video, I think it's also worth noting the several men Diaz has dated over the years, like Matt Dillon, Jared Leto, Justin Timberlake, and the man she is now married to, Benji Madden, known for his backing vocals and lead guitar role in the rock band Good Charlotte. And if you're thinking right now, wow, Cameron Diaz, that's a name I've actually not heard in a while. Well, that's because she is officially retired from acting. Seriously, she hasn't starred in anything since 2014. But she's been keeping busy since then, as she went on to write several health books. And in 2020, she launched her own wine brand called Aveline. And I actually considered buying some of the wine for this video to try it out. But then I saw the $84 price tag for a measly
Fuck that
12
shit.
cans. Well, all the more booze for Diaz, I guess.
That's her own burps.
Okay, so Dragon is a weird character to talk about here, as first of all, no actor is actually credited for the role. And yeah, Dragon doesn't speak, but she does roar and growl and that sort of thing. So someone clearly provided their voice for her. So I did some digging, and two names popped up who contributed their vocals to Dragon's performance. Firstly, there's Foley artist Gary A. Hecker, who specializes in providing creature and animal voices in many feature films. Here he is providing horse sounds for the Ridley Scott Robin Hood movie. This guy
impressive.
is mad talented. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube he's featured in that show off a great behind-the-scenes look at his work as a Foley artist. I highly recommend checking them out.
Pretty underappreciated job in the movie business.
My voice a lot. I'm just gonna carve with my voice. Here, we're gonna play back. Here's water, the crackling, and then my voice.
Now, the other actor I've seen listed as providing vocals for Dragon
That's
is
him.
voice actor
Fred.
Welker, who is best known as the voice of Fred in Scooby-Doo.
First thing we better do.
Still doing it after all these years.
For clues.
And what else has Welker done? Oh, a few things. And by a few things, I mean literally hundreds of roles. Seriously, check out his wiki page. It's longer than you could imagine. But some highlights include Megatron in Transformers,
I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime.
Shao Kahn in the Mortal Kombat movie,
Fools, I've come for your soul.
Dr. Claw in Inspector Gadget,
Oh.
Gadget is on his way. Ogre, are you ready?
and he's also providing the voice for Scooby-Doo himself these days.
Like Cummings and as Pooh and Tigger.
Welker also specializes in voicing non-speaking animal roles, hence the Dragon gig. Check this clip out of him providing lion sound effects for The Lion King.
Whoa.
Yeah, I bet you all thought they got actual lions for that, but no, turns out all you need is some guy in a mustache roaring into a trash can.
Great.
And Jim Cummings snarling as a hyena.
Dogs. Cats. And monkeys. And Welker
He was the
also has
Nazi
provided
monkey?
sounds for another infamous monkey.
Ah.
Yeah, Abu and the Nazi monkey from Raiders are voiced by the same guy.
He's a Nazi! Get him!
I'd highly recommend checking out Welker's
You ain't never had a Nazi like me.
Skipped here. So here we have a singing double. Yeah, while Cameron Diaz has sung before in her films like in Annie, for example, her voice probably wasn't Disney enough for the singing. So in comes the uncredited American singer-songwriter Sally Dworsky, who literally is a previous singer of a Disney song.
He's holding back, he's hiding from what I can't decide.
Yeah, that's Dworsky as Nala's singing voice. series. And she also takes over for Sandra Bullock's character, Miriam, in The Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, ain't no way that's Sandra Bullock. Beautiful songs.
You also might be familiar with her song, I Found My Way, which was used on the soundtrack to the 1989 film, The Wizard.
Not a song I would associate with that film. I've never seen it, but I've seen Doug Walker's review of it.
Please, monster! Can't you see I'm a little busy here?
So, before I get to Robin Hood's voice actor, many of you might be wondering why the infamous English hero has a French accent. Well, Andrew Adamson was asked about this once, and his response was pretty much, why the fuck not? Yeah, it's played for laughs. Though there is a theory that the reason he speaks with a French dialect is that following the Norman conquest of 1066, French dialects will have stuck around for quite a while in England, especially with nobles. So, ironically, it's possible that this played-for-laughs interpretation of Robin Hood might be the most accurate portrayal of him we've ever seen. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Anyway, French actor Vincent Cassel plays him here, who I'm sure many of you will recognize as he's been in a ton of things. Cassel came to prominence back in 1995 for his lead performance in the crime drama La Haine.
Ain't not
Then
French
Cassel
roles.
split his time doing a mixture of French and English-speaking roles. On the French side, he acted in films like the biographical crime film Mesrine, the period action horror Brotherhood of the Wolf, and did you know that 3 years before the live-action adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, the French did their own interpretation, with Bond girl Léa Seydoux playing Belle and Vincent Cassel playing the Beast.
Still doesn't look that great in live action form.
Yeah, it's odd that Vincent Cassel goes on to play the Beast, when in the Merry Men song, he sings this lyric.
When I'm beautiful the beast, it makes me up very much.
That is weird. I
Snapping.
wonder if Cassel realized this when he signed on for the role. And to
Probably
add to
not.
the coincidences, this isn't the only romantic relationship with a Bond girl Cassel has had, for he was once married to Monica Bellucci, who he divorced in 2013, and then proceeded to marry someone 30 years younger than himself. And you thought DiCaprio was bad? Wow. Now, on the English side of productions, Cassel acted in films like Easter Promises, Black Swan, and in Ocean's 12, he got to show off his dance skills, for Cassel is quite skilled in the art of capoeira. Yeah, real-life Eddie Gordo we got here. And finally, Cassel has done other voice roles, specializing in dubbing for French versions of English features. For example, this is him as Diego in Ice Age. Now, the other very
Not as funny as Dennis Leary's.
So let's make our way through them. One of them is played by Guillaume Aratos. Probably butchering that one.
Making a movie is a very messy process, very complex process, and very human process.
He was one of Shrek's production designers, and also voices this receptionist in Shrek 2.
Are you feeling at all degraded or oppressed?
A little.
Funny
We
scene.
don't even have dental.
Another one of the men is played by Matthew Gonda, a Franco-American and a jack of all trades. He's a writer, actor, dancer, and singer. Check out this 80s pop number he did.
Don't turn around, oh, oh, oh. A common thug in town, oh, oh, oh.
Another merry man was played by the late Calvin Remsburg. He was best known for directing 4 theatre productions of Sweeney Todd, and he had some minor on-screen roles. This is him in an episode of the sitcom Cheers, and here he is in an episode of The X-Files.
Big dude. Is that Deep Roy?
Merry Man number 4 is played by Jean-Paul Vignon. Vignon appeared in loads of movies and shows. For example, this is him in the 1968 film The Devil's Brigade.
À votre santé. Now you owe me a drink.
And here he is waiting Picard in Star Trek The Next Generation.
There's some wine, some cheese?
I'm not very hungry. I really came for the view.
Perhaps what you hunger for is not on the menu.
Vignon is also an avid singer/performer. Here he is on the Ed Sullivan Show, performing his top 40 single, Don't Cry Little Girl.
Oh, don't cry, little girl, don't cry.
Goes back a long way.
And the final credited Merry Man was played by John Bissom. Bissom was a long-time contributor to the Los Angeles musical theatre scene, appearing in stage productions of things like Holiday Inn, The Full Monty, and here he is as the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz.
And perhaps I deserve ya, and be even worthy. Urge ya, if I only had a
Tragically, however, Bissom committed suicide in 2012 after he had been suffering from depression. Please, people, if someone you know is going through some shit, give them a hug and tell them how much you appreciate them. It can go a long way.
We gather here today to bear witness to the union.
And last but not least, we have the Bishop, who's voiced by the late American actor Val Bettin. Bettin was known for putting on an English accent for a lot of his roles. In the 1950s, he hosted a children's television show called The Storyteller.
Hello, my friends. Welcome once more to the bookshelves of the Storyteller.
Though you might recognize him more as Dr. David Q. Dawson in The Great Mouse Detective.
But Basil, how could he...
That's a nostalgia trip.
Doctor? Basil, you astonished me.
And he also portrayed the Sultan in many of the Aladdin sequels, taken over after Douglas Seal had passed away.
You have proven to be a man. A strong...
Good imitation of Seal.
That is why I've decided to make you my new royal vizier.
So there we go. That's every credited voice actor in Shrek and then some. It's as I was doing research for this video, I ended up feeling quite disappointed with how so many of the voice actors weren't credited for their work, and it made it quite difficult
So there it
to track
goes.
every name down. So if I've missed a few names, that is why. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, know I've broken down other movies as well. Here's some links. And a big thank you to you all for watching.
There's my name.
Much love to my Patreon supporters especially, because I could not do this without you. Take care of yourself, guys, and I shall see you in the next one.
Guys got a lot of good supporters. If you want to have your name in the credits, then hop on over to Patreon and start contributing a little bit. And yeah, I haven't done a reaction to an Every Actor in video for a while. And well, they are fun. I enjoyed watching this, but I think it's pretty clear these are not as fast-paced or as tightly wound as the reviews, and they're very educational. He's got a few good jokes in there, but yeah, like the Harry Potter one that I didn't react to, that was like 59 minutes, I think, maybe longer. I think it was like it was an hour, and this one was 41 minutes. It's a long time, and this is definitely a. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying this is definitely a more informative video, and those can be hard to react to. And I did enjoy this. I learned a lot of cool stuff. Voice actors are definitely a very underappreciated group of actors. I know who Jim Cummings is. I know who Luis LaMarche, if I'm pronouncing that right, is, and yeah, Frank Welker, and there's a couple of others. Can't remember them exactly at the moment, but cool talking about where some of the people like Mike Myers started out. One part I thought he might have gone a little overboard on was when he talked about Eddie Murphy's personal life and the French guy who voiced Robin Hood, bringing up the 30 years younger woman that he married, and also jumping into other acting credits of people connected to the earlier works of the actors he was going into. Seems like Ross got a little off track at certain points, but I enjoyed this. It was a cool video about Shrek, and I wish I had a lot more to say, but it's hard when I don't have a co-host with me. This was a pretty spur-of-the-moment video, and just thought it'd be fun to do. Haven't reacted to one of these in a while, again, and before I ramble on too much longer and get really fucking repetitive, if you want to check out more of Ross John Fernley's content, then click the link down below. And he started a new YouTube channel that's going to be mostly comprised of his green screen skits. He does these skits every once in a while where he inserts himself via green screen into a movie scene and re-edits it to be more comedic. He's done many of these in the past, sometimes as sketches and his bigger reviews, but this is a new channel where he's going to be adding individual sketches of that kind, and they're very fun, and I highly recommend checking them out. And that's all I really have to say. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. Check out the other videos on the channel, and I will see you again soon.